Okay, this is a troubleshooting case for the Master Fan MF120 Halo 3-in-1. We've got three fans. They're already installed in the PC. There's fan number 1, fan number 2, and fan number 3. The 4-pin fan connectors are already hooked up. The fans themselves are functional. The LEDs are not functional with the included controller. So the first thing we have is the controller that came with the in the box with the three fans. We've got a connector that provides the input power and output to the fan LEDs, and then a reset switch port as well. Got the, I guess, Molex connector. This is the SATA port for power, incoming power. Here's the connector that goes in the side of the controller. And here is the 3-pin, not 4-pin, but 3-pin connector that goes downstream to the fans, one or more fans. Over here we have our incoming SATA connector from the power supply. And we've got a reset switch connector that we've disconnected from the motherboard and we're using to try to make this these fans run. So I'm going to hook those up real quick, and as I hook these up, we're going to try to start. We'll do one fan at a time, and then we'll do one instance with all three. All right, so SATA connector first. So it's connected there. And take the side of the controller. I'm gonna hook that there. All right, so that's hooked up. So now this is our 3-pin downstream. We are going to reach in here and hook up the reset switch. And so now the controller is connected, and we're just for this test, we're just going to leave this kind of hanging right here. All right, so we'll power up the PC. Make sure, let's just make sure there's any. Oh, gotta hold on. Sorry, gotta switch on the power supply. All right, let's see, we got power onto the motherboard. See, we got power. Processor fans turning. Fan number 1 is turning. Fan number 2 is turning. Fan number 3 is turning. Okay. We've got a light on our controller. We've got a solid white LED on the controller. Okay. So just showing that, we're going to power the PC back off. All right, PC's back off. We are now going to connect fan number 1. 3-pin connector from the controller. Connected to fan number 1. The downstream port for fan number 1 has been capped off. Powering the PC back up. Again, all fans are turning. We've got power on the processor, fan processor's on. We again have an LED on the controller. We have no lights on fan number 1, no LEDs at all. And just, I think we would already have LEDs by now, but the computer's up. We will press the button on the controller 3 times. Nothing happens. And I will press the reset button and we'll watch, see what happens here. All right, nothing happens to the controller. I've hit the reset button 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and nothing happens. We will go to fan number 2. I'm powering the PC off each time. So I'm going to disconnect the 3-pin connector from fan number 2. I mean, from fan number 1, I'm sorry. And we're going to connect it to the female of fan number 2. In addition, to make sure that nothing is connecting to the downstream port for fan number 2, we've capped it off. powering up the PC. And again, we have power on the controller. Wait until the initial Windows login screen comes up. It is up. Again, we have no LEDs on fan number 2. Hit the button on the controller several times. Hit the button on the reset button on the chassis several times. And still nothing on fan number 2. So we'll shut it down again and do fan 3. Okay, leaving everything connected there. Taking the connector, the cap off the end. Disconnecting fan number 2 from the controller 3-pin port. We're connecting the 3-pin connector from the controller to fan number 3. Capping off the downstream port or jack for the connector for the fan number 3. Okay, we'll wire in the fan there. Make sure it stays out of there. We're powering up. We're going to wait until the PC comes up. And PC is up. We're going to press the, once again, we've got power on the controller. The LED is turning, is on white. 1, 2, 3, and there are no LEDs on fan number 3. And we'll try the reset button on the case. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Power down one last time, and I'm going to connect all 3 fans together. Okay. So we're going to disconnect fan number 3 from the controller connector. So now all 3 fans are loose. We're going to go over to fan number 1. We're going to connect the 3-pin connector. We're going to take the downstream connector. Now we're going to fan number 2 and taking the male from fan number 1 to the female connector on fan number 2. Those 2 are connected. Now we're going to go from fan number 2, take the male connector from fan number 2, and we're going to connect the 3-pin, 3-pin connector there. So that pin, that's connected up. And then we're going to take, we still got the downstream port for fan number 3 capped off. So, final test. Power up the PC. Again, we already have power on the controller. PC is coming up. Okay, and we have tried the controller button several times. Nothing there. We'll try the reset button. Either one, and there are no, this is fan number 1, no LEDs. Fan number 2, no LEDs for fan number 2. Those lights are coming from the processor. And no lights on fan number 3. And that concludes our video.